Bukayo Saka's out for 3 or 4 weeks, and Arsenal have the double game week confirmed in 26, Sunderland at home in 25. We need triple Arsenal, but which are the 3 best assets to own? Welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are good and you're all prepped ready for game week 25. We are reacting to the news from Tuesday night that not only is Saka out, but Arsenal have locked in the double game week as we thought. But first, let's talk about Bukayo Saka. Some pretty credible journalists broken from the Sun, but that Saka's going to miss 3-4 weeks. However, Arteta hasn't confirmed this. So we don't expect Arteta to do that. But I think from the reports we've seen on Tuesday, from knowing he wasn't in the Tuesday night squad against Chelsea, Saka's very likely out for 3 or 4 weeks with a muscle injury. And with that in mind, we simply have to sell him. Now, Arteta did say he's okay. We need to have more tests on Wednesday to understand how he is. This game was too short, but let's hope it's not too much longer that he's out. I think it looks pretty sure that he's going to be out for a few weeks. And journalists, ITKs, seem to be pretty confident on that. So if Saka's out, where do we go? Do we look at triple Arsenal defence? Do we bring in Declan Rice? Do we look at Madueke? Well, let's talk about all these options in today's video and why the need is so strong for triple Arsenal. Guys, I would love you to hit that like button, but please do subscribe if you're new around here. Drop a comment if you've got any questions. This is why we need triple Arsenal. This is the ticker all the way to game week 31. Now, we know in game week 31, Arsenal will now have a blank game week. Many are on a chip strategy where they'll wildcard in 32. They'll dead end in 31. So don't worry too much about the blank yet. We've got plenty of games to start offloading or benching Arsenal players. This is filtered by difficulty in Fantasy Football Scout. They've got Bournemouth top, right? Arsenal second. So Arsenal not only have up there with the top 2 best fixtures, but they also are one of only 2 teams with a double game week. So Wolves get the double. They play Forest and Arsenal. And Arsenal get the double in 26, Wolves and Brentford. But before that, it's Sunderland at home. This isn't a case of making our decision in game week 26 to have the right triple up. We have to make it in 25. Sunderland, you guys know I love Sunderland, right? Big Mukiele fanboy. Had him since a wildcard in game week 7. Sunderland are very good at defending at home. They're not great at defending away. Arsenal, surely heavy favourites. They'll score some goals at Sunderland. You want to make sure you've got the right triple up now for game week 25. And then, of course, for game week 26, you're so well set. Now, game week 26, Wolves-Brentford. Don't see a double game week and worry about minutes for key men and rotation. Arsenal need to get over the line in the Premier League. They need to win these games. It is absolutely a priority for Arteta. Wedged between Wolves and Brentford is Wigan in the FA Cup. So, of course, there's the fear your player could play against Wigan and be injured for Brentford. Unlikely. Against Wigan, he's going to play the B team. Of course he is. Wolves and Brentford look so good for 180 minutes of the key Arsenal men. And we're going to talk about who those key men are. Do not worry about that. And then, of course, you keep triple Arsenal in your squad for Tottenham, for Chelsea, probably even for Brighton and Everton. And then you can always offload 1 or 2 in game week 31. Of course, you can bench them as well in game week 31. But wildcard in 32 will be so important to a strategy which involves going triple Arsenal and then starting to offload. So, how have Arsenal looked in recent weeks? And are we focusing on the back line or the front line? Well, let's have a look. Leeds. Most recent Premier League game was so convincing, guys. I've not seen a team go to Ellen Road and play like this season. Complete domination. Leeds, 0.13 XG total. They didn't have a sniff. Shows how amazing Arsenal's defence is. But look at these big lines from between the posts. The big increases are the big chances. Lots of big chances. 3.66 XG, and they match that with the 4 goals. How do they set up? Well, look how high Jurriën Timber is, guys. Now, look, Madueke came on for Saka. Madueke got injured in the warm-up. Let's talk about Madueke now. Do I see Madueke as a legit option for the double game week? Guys, I really don't see it. Of course, he'll play the Saka role, but will he get substituted? Probably. In this game against Leeds, he got the brace. He still only played 60 minutes. In the Premier League this season, Madueke has not played 90. And in the vast majority of starts he's had, he's come off at around the 60-minute mark. He's only made it past, I think, 65, 70 minutes on 2 or 3 occasions. You're going to get an early sub, very likely, and you're not even guaranteed both those fixtures in the double. There's a very good chance when we look at those Arsenal fixtures we just looked at, if Saka's out for 3-4 weeks, there's every chance Saka features in the double game week. The Brentford game, I think it's very unlikely he'll play the Wolves game. But that Brentford game is very much one Saka will be targeting to be back for. And the North London derby in 27 has been talked about. But he could be back for Brentford. It's no guarantee Madueke even starts these football matches. And if he's not going to be even guaranteed to start, then I don't think we should be punting him in, because it's just a transfer out waiting to happen. Really is. Yes, he might get points against Sunderland and co, but he might also get 60 minutes or 59 minutes in the one pointer. And you're using a transfer to bring him in, and then you're probably using a transfer to bring him out. It's just not a buy for me. When we look at the other positions for Arsenal, well, Havertz has stepped in for Odegaard quite well against Leeds. He played that number 10 role. Trossard on the left, but it's just no guarantee with Trossard and with Havertz. And even Gyökeres that they're going to start both games in the double, because Martinelli exists on the left. Eze exists in the 10 if Odegaard is still out. Gabi Jesus exists for the Gyökeres replacement. It really is heavy rotation in those Arsenal midfield spots. And when we look forward at a few other fixtures, let's just have a look at them. Just note, by the way, Jurrien Timber's average position here against Leeds. Super attractive there, high and wide on the right. Against Inter Milan. Inter at home, you expect them to win. Inter have reached 2 Champions League finals in the last 3 years. Or is it the last 4 years? They've been awesome. Arsenal were pretty dominant in that one too. They edged it throughout. And Inter had their chances, but all small chances. Arsenal don't concede big chances. Look at all those little increases. Small chance, small chance, small chance, small chance. And he's not going to score enough goals against an elite backline if you're not creating big chances. So again, amazing performance at the San Siro for Arsenal. And look at Jurrien Timber, how he's the outlet. Saka was fit. But so high, so attractive. Eze played this one. Gabi Jesus played this one. Again, we're talking about Gyökeres, and we're talking about Havertz. There's no guarantee. Trossard played this one on the left. But then again, you look at Chelsea Arsenal on Tuesday night, the EFL Cup semi-final. Again, Chelsea edged it with the XG, but they're chasing. It's a semi-final. They're a goal down. They had to go all out. And even then, they struggled to create chances and big chances. There's one big chance in the game for Chelsea. Arsenal then obviously got the late winner. But again, look how they lined up. Martinelli got the nod, not Trossard. It was Eze again. Gyökeres instead of Gabi Jesus. There's just no predicting that Arsenal number 10 and left-hand side. I'd say first choice is pretty clear. It's Odegaard when fit, Havertz if he's not, and on the left it's Trossard over Martinelli. But there's no guarantee there. There's no guarantee. Also notice at left-back, Hincapie's been getting the minutes over Calafiori. It brings us all to who's absolutely nailed. Pretty simple, guys. The only real nailed assets for 25 and a double in 26. Who am I confident in those 3 games gets 270 minutes? Gabriel, William Saliba, Jurrien Timber, Zubimendi, Declan Rice. They are the only 5 I'm pretty confident, as long as there's no injury. Oh, and David Raya, right? So it's Raya, the 2 centre-backs, Timber, and then the two midfielders that are holding, Zubimendi and Rice. There's only 6 players that are guaranteed 270. They're not even guaranteed, but they're very close. I'd be surprised if they don't get it. Ignore all the others. Unless you're looking at those 6 names, don't consider the other options, is the long and short of it, guys. So look, let's talk about the state of play and where we're at. Captaincy plays a huge part of our thinking. And in double game week 26, who are you going to be captaining? Interesting, a lot of looking at Gabriel over Rice. If you're not captaining Rice, maybe Rice isn't a must-have. Gabriel clearly is. So captaincy, really important in 26. Of course, we're going to be captaining an Arsenal player, right? I don't think anyone's going to go and chase a single game week player in the double. Maybe you will, but I look at game week 26 and I see Wolves and Brentford away and I see 180 minutes of a Gabriel. I'm going to go there. Yes, Haaland plays Fulham at home. Yes, Liverpool go to Sunderland. Fine. You're just not going to be backing against, I don't think, someone that's got a really nice double game week. And it's a nice enough because Gabriel just doesn't really concede goals, does he? Like 3 of the last 4, we've had clean sheets for Gabriel. And in those games, it's a 6, an 8 and an 8. And you'll notice the 8 points come because he's been getting DEFCON. He can definitely get DEFCON against Brentford. Wolves might be tricky, but Brentford are a team that go direct and long a lot. You've got a good chance of getting DEFCON, the centre-backs against Brentford, because they go from back to front so quickly. He's only 40% owned somehow, Gabriel. Worth every penny at 7 million. Now, his recent points, 8-3, 8-6, 9-15. You piece together any of those 2 games and you're very happy with a double game week score, even of an 8 and a 3, right? You get 11 points in a double, 22, you're happy. But any other 2 game combination there, A 15 and a 9, 24? Yes, please. A 9 and a 6, 15, double to 30? Yes, please. Like, you piece together any of these two games from the last 6 games, you're going to get a big score. And I think in those two, you absolutely get it from Gabriel. He's a must-have. We don't need to discuss him. He's the best Arsenal pick. I'd say must-have players in the game right now. There's two, Bruno and Gabriel. What about Declan Rice? A lot that own Saka will make this switch, and I understand why. I might do this myself. 32% owned. His ownership's dropped a little bit. He's been, what, the second best performing midfielder in the game this season? Who has more points than Rice in midfield? Only Semenyo. And Bruno just edges him. Bruno 131, Rice 129. He's been unbelievable. He's been unbelievable. And it's his contribution with goals, I think, which has surprised many of us. But of course, you're going to get that. He's had 4 goals. He's had 7 assists. A lot of the assists come from set pieces. No one takes a better corner than Declan Rice or an indirect free kick for looking for Gabriel's head. Now, sure, blanked in the last 4. That means fewer are looking at him. That's a good thing. In those 4, he's been really, really close to DEFCON. And he wouldn't have had the blank if he gets his DEFCON. Remember, he needs 12. His DEFCON in the last few games, 9, 10, 11, and 9. He's been 1, 2, or 3 off DEFCON in all those 4 games. He's going to get DEFCON in the double in one of the fixtures, maybe even both. And will you get a goal or an assist and the clean sheet point? Yeah, you will in loads of them, in loads of games, because Declan Rice is super dangerous. Now, he is playing fairly deep alongside Zubimendi, but Zubimendi is the one that has to hold, is the 6, and Rice on paper is the 8. He will get into some goal scoring positions. We saw his assist against Chelsea. He's got the energy. He gets the minutes. He's often the captain. He's the leader on the pitch. Declan Rice is a great buy. We need to talk about the opportunity cost that comes with Declan Rice, but he's a great buy in his own right. And the guy you're comparing him with really is Jurrien Timber. This isn't a case of going, Rice isn't a great asset. Of course he is. But let's assume the vast majority of Saka owners have got the decision to make. Do they go to Rice or do they go to a different midfielder and buy a Timber at the back? And let's assume they've got Gabriel and Raya. This is where I am, and this is fairly template. Saka, Raya, Gabriel. The opportunity cost that comes with both. If you buy Declan Rice, who are you ignoring? If you buy Timber, who are you ignoring? Premium defenders haven't been great this season, and Arsenal double up is definitely on. But if you go Timber, maybe the question is it triple Arsenal defence or is it double defence with Rice? Now, triple defence is absolutely a differential play here. If you've got Gabriel captain and you've got triple Arsenal defence, you've effectively got quadruple Arsenal defence. You don't keep clean sheets and you're absolutely in trouble. But Arsenal will keep clean sheets. How are Arsenal going to win the Premier League this season? Well, they're clear, but how are they going to maintain that lead? I don't think we're going to see Arsenal go in and winning 4-5-0. That expansive football is going to be reined in as they focus on the basics to get over the line. And that will be a lot of 1-0 wins. And you're going to get a lot of clean sheets. And triple Arsenal defence sounds so good. Now, when we look at the average position maps of a Timber, there's so much to like. We keep looking at it and we go, oh, Timber, like this is away to Inter Milan. Like, look how good you looked. Like, super high, super wide. This is at Sunderland, Leeds, sorry. Super high, super wide. Timber's going to get goal involvements just like Rice. I don't think we should say that Timber's a defender, therefore not going to get goal or an assist. Yes, he hasn't had many goals and assists this season, but that's mainly because he's been unfortunate. When you look at his expected stats, he's top of all defenders for expected goal involvements. Sure, Rice has the advantage of taking set pieces, but one of the guys he's aiming at is Timber. I don't think there's a huge amount between it here in attacking returns. Now, Timber benefits, of course, from the clean sheet points, but the opportunity cost is big. If you're buying Timber, you're not buying a centre-back that's going to get loads of DEFCON. Or there's Senesi out there. There's Tarkowski, there's Anderson, there's cheaper guys out there that you know have a floor of 4 points every week because they just eat up the DEFCON. Even James Hill or Maguire, cheapos at around 4 million. They're going to get a lot of 4-pointers. Timber's not going to get you DEFCON. Maybe that doesn't matter. If you buy Declan Rice, are you ignoring Enzo Fernandez? Are you ignoring a second Man United midfielder like an Mbermo? Could be a very strong buy. Declan Rice is unbelievable. He's a great asset. But do you need him? Can you back against him? Do you want to go for a differential play? The differential play is triple Arsenal defence. The obvious Arsenal play is double defence captain Gabriel, so you've still got an effective triple up, and have Declan Rice in your team. But it comes down to what midfielder you're wanting in your team. And this is very much team dependent. This is what other key cogs have you got in your team? Who are you selling to get Timber in? I've got O'Reilly. I don't want him long term. Maybe that's an opportunity for me to get to Timber. I don't have Rice. I do have Enzo. I do have Bruno Fernandes. I do have Morgan Rogers. Is there a midfielder I really want? Well, I don't have Mbermo, so maybe there is. It's so team dependent, guys, but it will be swingy. It will be swingy. The differential play, as I said, I keep saying it, triple Arsenal defence could be loads of fun. And maybe this comes down to your rank, not just your team, but your rank. If you're having a really good season, go safe. Go Rice. If you're chasing, maybe look at the triple Arsenal defence. So if I'm ranking them, forget your team and forget your rank for this ranking. This is just top line. Gabriel is my number one. We don't discuss. I genuinely would have Timber number 2. I think pound for pound, Timber just about over Rice. Rice would be my 3. Raya would be my 4. If you're on wildcard or free hit, you go Gabriel, Timber, Rice. I've got Raya. And remember with Raya, the benefit of having David Raya, game week 31, when they've got that blank game week and you've got triple Arsenal, you don't have to sell Raya. You can just bench him, right? You just play Dubravka or whoever you've got in that game week. So that's another benefit of going with the right triple up with Raya. You can easier to hide on your bench because you've got 2 goalkeepers. So when we look at those Arsenal fixtures in 31 and we see who did Burnley play? Burnley have Fulham. You happily play Dubravka, you bench Raya. You've then only got 2 other Arsenal players to bench. You can then bench a third, a Mark Guiu or whoever. So again, that's another slight advantage of going down the Raya route. I would argue between now and 31, who's going to get more points, Timber or Raya? Timber, so therefore go Timber. At rank 5, I'd go Saliba. He's the only one that's sort of guaranteed the minutes outside of this. Gyökeres, a punt. Saka, if we think he's going to be fit, I just don't see it. And then Zubimendi only as a minutes play. Guys, I'm not even putting on the list Madueke because I don't know if he plays both in the double. I really don't. I think it's flaky for minutes. So look, these are my top 8 by ranking. I just think it's clear who the best 3 are. It's Gabriel, it's Timber, it's Rice. And if you can't get to that top 3 because of your team structure, Raya's absolutely fine. Raya's absolutely fine. So guys, that's where I'm at. Good luck deciding between triple Arsenal defence, maybe even double Arsenal attack and 1 defender, or the more basic and obvious double defence, 1 attack. Let me know what you're doing in the comments. Do subscribe on your way out, and I'll see you for my team selection in about 24 hours time. Bye-bye.